Alright guys, we're over here in the Appalachians, John's maple woods, and right next to the Weiser Forest. And we're doing what our ancestors did. We're tapping maple syrup. And we're going to make some spiles. We're at the sumac trees right now. Alright, we got this sumac branch here, and a nice green one. What we're going to do is cut a piece out like this, about 3 inches. And what I do is take a knife and taper the end. And then you'll have to drill a hole in either end from each side. What I do is I start in here and I'll work it in. I'll just spin it. You don't really need to drill for this part. So the maple syrup flows through that. And there's the pith. You just pull that out and go in from the other side like that. So there, just like that, we made that spile, and we just cut a notch in it. For our buckets to hang on. Just one a little higher than your hole in there, something like that. We might have to fix that later depending on where we're hanging it. But as simple as that. Now let's go get a maple tree. We got a nice maple tree here. The way to find these maples is they all have opposing branches. One coming out directly across on either side of each limb. And there's only a few trees, right, John? Chestnuts,
yeah, maples,
Nash,
and dogwoods.
And dogwood trees that do that at the top. And you want to look for bark like this. And we're gonna tap this here tree. So we're gonna go to the southeast side to tap it. Alright, we're gonna tap it here. Got a 7/16 bit and I marked it. Usually go in about 2 inches. A little bit of an upward angle, not much. You see, our ancestors were taught by the Indians. The Indians used like a V-shaped stone. They go in a V shape, but then we started using augers. They taught them that around the 1680s. It was the Topahawken Indians that my family taught me. What they used to do is to take horses and old oak barrels and haul it out of the woods. And we're gonna go collect some later here. But they use the augers just like this. Alright, we're gonna tap this in. Now we got it snug there. Basically all you gotta do, tap that spile in. Old sumac spile. You can see it dripping. Here we got some dripping out. It didn't take long, a minute. We're already collecting it, so let's show you some that we got collecting already. Alright guys, well, what we got here is all these jugs lined up. That's the best thing to have when it's rainy weather, is these plastic jugs, and squirrels don't get them as easy as a bucket. So a lot of times we just use these jugs. So they're pretty full. The weather's been pretty warm during the day and cold at night. That's what we want. That's springtime weather. And I'll show you here. We pour it in to collect it. Kind of like water. And we'll collect gallon jugs and we'll take them over to our stainless steel kettle. And we'll just make a fire out in the woods, and that's what we're going to do tonight, is make a fire and render it down. A lot of times with fur traders, that's deep in my family, is fur traders, and what they did was they traded a lot of maple syrup and they'd buy it off of all the people in the woods. So that's what we're continuing to do here. So let's head down the woods. Alright, right here we got a spiff draining a lot. We got a half gallon there. So we usually we got 2 of these kettles today, and we're going to take and render down 2 kettles tonight, and we just go along and we'll pour it in the kettles as we go. If they get too heavy, we'll just take gallon jugs or pitchers and run over to our kettle, and we make a clear spot in the middle of the woods. Usually we collect different places throughout the year, end of the year here, and that's how we do it. Look how fast that's dripping. We just drill a hole like that, and we'll push it in the spiff up to that notch and let it hang like that. So it's as simple as that. So I hope you guys learned something, and until next time. Okay guys, to give you an idea of what we did last night is we took these stainless steel barrels and we made like a split log fire, and we put each stainless steel barrel on each side, and we rendered that sap down to like a light brown color. We'd steam it off, and then once we got it down so far like a light brown color, we put it in this thermos here. And the thermos, I showed on the brew video how I made it, and it had like a braided line for like a riser hose, and that drained and filtered everything out, like in case there's bugs or anything in your sap that we rendered, and it filters it out. And then we'll do the final render on the fire, and we'll use a big pan like this. This is an aluminum one, and we'll fill that full, and that'll get it down to syrup. And once we heat that up to over a boiling point, if it gets 7 degrees over boiling point, then it turns into syrup. Then we'll dump that off, and we'll start with the next part of the batch, and we'll render that down to syrup, and we'll check it with a candy thermometer, and we'll just keep dumping that syrup off. The color of your syrup can depend on the type of tree you're tapping the syrup out of, but you'll tell when the temperature gets 7 degrees above boiling, because you're already boiling it to begin with, but here's where the temperature rises. We'll take it pretty hot in here and bring it from the outside to another fire or someplace, and that's how we do it, boys. Hope you guys learned a little bit, and till the next video, take care and God bless.